I want to talk to you tonight about the virtue nobody wants. And to look at that, we go to 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 18 through 21, page 1494 in your Journey Bible. This is the Apostle Paul's first letter to the Corinthians. Paul wrote that letter in response to a letter that they had written to him. They were having some challenges, they were having some problems within that fellowship of the Corinthian churches. Remember, when we talk about the church, like the church at Corinth, we're actually talking about a cluster of house churches in that area. And the Apostle Paul was the founding pastor, was the church planter, and helped get the churches started, and then he went on his way. And he turned leadership of those churches over to local gifted men and women to serve and to lead the church. And so, 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 18. For the message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing. But to us who are being saved, it is the power of God. By the way, that verb, being, verb, that's a verb? Yeah. Is interesting because Paul could use the past tense, the present tense, or the future tense in regard to salvation, and sometimes he does. We were saved, we are saved, and we will be saved. So being saved is three-dimensional, past, present, and future. And here he's talking about we are being saved. To us who are being saved, it is the power of God. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise. The intelligence of the intelligent I will frustrate. Where is the wise man? Where is the scholar? Where is the philosopher of this age? Has not God made foolish the wisdom of the world? And remember that Corinth was filled with Greek philosophy and Greek ideas and Greek intellectualism. For since in the wisdom of God, the world through its wisdom did not know him, God was pleased through the foolishness of what was preached to save those who believe. Jews demand miraculous signs, and Greeks look for wisdom. But we preach Christ crucified, a stumbling block to Jews and foolishness to Gentiles. But to those whom God has called, both Jews and Greeks, Christ the power of God and the wisdom of God. For the foolishness of God is wiser than man's wisdom, and the weakness of God is stronger than man's strength. Brothers, think of what you were when you were called. Not many of you were wise by human standards. Not many were influential. Not many were of noble birth. But God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. He chose the lowly things of this world and the despised things and the things that are not, to nullify the things that are, so that no one may boast in him. It is because of him that you are in Christ Jesus, who has become for us wisdom from God. That is our righteousness, holiness, and redemption. Therefore, as it is written, let him who boasts, boast in the Lord. Let's talk a bit about